Hello. I was just reflecting on the love-hate vector space and that Dee Landon and Cole and I have been chatting about. And some of the comments have been made it clear that you really needed diagrams to help understand where I'm thinking. I think graphically. So anyway, the first model is other 4815's model, where he says you either love something or you hate it. And there's no alternative. I've drawn it like that with a very small love and a rather large amount of hate, i.e. the rest of the known universe, because that's the model that definitely comes in the early Christian period, when the Christians saw themselves as a persecuted minority and the rest of the society around them hated them, etc., etc. So this is very much what I would call the sort of a Revelations model of love and hate. That you either love or you hate, and that's the model that is the one that other 4815 uses. Now, it's not the model that I find very helpful. I reflect on these things, that both love and hate are emotions, and there's a sort of origin, a starting point, a neutral place where of no emotion, perhaps almost a still centre, perhaps which is within Christian theology and also within Buddhism and other religions, and that there's emotional power, and the further away from there, the stronger the emotion is. So that's the image, that you've got a stronger emotion. Now, so if we then draw an image, we can sort of have, this is the neutral centre, and then we have concentric rings of stronger emotion. And I apologise because my circles are not terribly wonderful. I'm going to put a theoretical maximum on it of the sort of drop dead from heart attack maximum, because these are there is a limit to the amount of emotion that we can express. Now the question then becomes, how does love and hate work within this thing? If we look at love, and I'm going to draw love on this axis here, we can go out until we get to the theoretical maximum of love. We can love things, we can love it so much we can die from loving it, I suppose, in the sense of, this emotion can be very, very powerful. It can go out in different directions. We can, I love chips. And if you remember the advert where it says daddy or chips, and she has to decide which one she loved more. So we can have, she decided to put chips above daddy. So she would say that's her choice for chips, and this would be her choice for daddy. So that's the model that we can use. So it's helpful for one individual emotion. Yeah? Now we're then looking at two emotions. Now, so this is the love axis, or the love vector direction. The question is, where's hate? One conventional model is to model it in this way, that it's the negative of love. Now the problem with this model is that it's really an adaptation of the other 4815 model. It's linear, it's really only a one-dimensional model, and it doesn't have the possibility of interaction. And it's basically, if you love or hate somebody, it's ding or dang, it's this or that way. And the problem with it also is that hate is seen as negative love. And so that if you say, well, I love chips this much, but I hate daddy, you put it in that direction. But you know, it's sort of, these are not, it's a stereotype saying that hate. So to hate, to turn a Christian phrase on its head actually, I thought, you hate the sin and not the sinner. So they're using hate as a positive thing. To hate the sin but not the sinner is saying hating sin is a good thing. That's the positive expression. So this doesn't work in that sense. It's not a good model. So let's just take it out. The question then became, is hate orthogonal? That's represented in this sort of model, with it being at right angles. Is it at right angles to love? So can we say they are two independent and powerful emotions? I'm not sure that's true completely, but that's possibly more to do with the effect of the way we conceptualize love and hate. And what I'd like to do is explore that in a slightly different way. So hopefully I'm still on the camera. But love and hate are strange in that they have a sort of function which is, in this case we'll call it LX. So you love chips, yeah? Or you can, again, a function in hate, you can hate chips, or whatever it is. But also, you have what's perceived as a state. In this case, I'm going to use a letter. So you can love and hate things and be in a state of being. So not only are you applying this, but you be in a state of love or a state of hate. And the problem becomes is you can love to hate something, you can love to love something, you can hate to love something, and hate to hate something. So these, because these things interact, mean it's a much more complex relationship. Anyway, I'm still exploring this part of it. I think that's interesting. This is not well thought through here. This I feel more confident about, but this bit, the state thing, I'm still going to think about it. But there's certainly a function of love and hate, and whether it's a double function or whether it's a state idea, I don't know, but we can apply it to itself, so they interact. So the last bit that I was thinking about is when you have interactions between electrons and light. Oops, that's a bad diagram. You have a particle going on its way. It emits a photon and bounces, and another particle picks up them. So this is a very simple model. This is the one of non-interaction. What we have is one that's more, it emits a particle, and then the particle interacts and then has two paths. So there's like a much more complex model of interaction, and I'm trying to work through those ideas where this, how this would fit into this model. But anyway, that's my thoughts at this stage.